What's up, fellow fans of Clash of Clans? It's your host, Galadon, and today we're talking about defense at Builder Hall 6. Now, if you guys watched the recent live stream with all of those top YouTubers and clan leaders, then you know that the defensive base layout is key. And this is Eric's base design that we're checking out right here. Very unusual. A lot of players just don't know how to deal with it. And everybody thinking when Builder Hall 6 was released that Night Witches would be super OP. Well, they're proving maybe not to be quite as powerful as everybody once expected. But also, I feel like that drop of the additional army camp that we were going to see at Builder Hall 6 has completely changed things around. Actually, to the point that I agree that defense may just be a little bit overpowering right now. A lot of players having struggles to even get 2 stars, which, of course, you got to remember your opponent is having the same struggles, but I feel like it would be just a little more rewarding if we saw 3 stars at Builder Hall 6 a little more frequently than we do right now. So this is the base. We're getting a look at it in a defense from a top player, Eric, having been around 4,750 trophies. And again, the Night Witches, I feel like there's a lot of randomness just to pathing the way things work out here, where the battle machine goes. Now, you can control a certain amount, but once everything is dropped, and that seems to be the way a lot of Night Witch players go, they just drop everything early and hope for the best, cross their fingers, and don't leave a lot to strategy. Personally, I am actually leaning towards more precision striking. I'm having a lot of fun with minions and archers. We're going to show that in a future episode, you guys. Really working out well, and it's a lot of that dropping just the right number of troops for a specific defense that we've seen with, say, balloons back at the home village in Clan War. So we'll take another look. This is COC Master D with the defensive base of Eric right here. You'll see that very familiar layout. The ring of walls right around the Builder Hall, which makes it almost impossible for any ground attack to get the Builder Hall down. And so you'll almost always see your opponent coming at this base with air troops, and that is going to allow you to account for that by setting the mines to air, like you see there on the right-hand side. The air bombs way off towards the left. That also is usually going to lure your opponent to come from that far right-hand side. Now, this opponent came from the 2 o'clock angle, a little bit different, and maybe he was trying not to fall for that lure there of the air bombs off to the far left, but those air bombs helped wipe out all of the air units to the left of the Builder's Hall, as you can see, and now the roaster just frying everybody that was left in a very close one, but no stars for this attacker. Very close, the Builder's Hall down to about 15% health. Now, we're going to take a look at me using this base, and right here, ground attack coming from the right side. And when you're using bombers, the key is immediately keeping those bombers alive. You'll notice on this base layout, though, the archer towers are set to long range. So immediately 2 of the 4 bombers are gone. Now as the barbs rush in, the battle machine as well, ideally you're getting them in sooner so that you can protect the bombers. And without the bombers, things are not going to go well. And again, the ring of walls around the Builder's Hall, making it almost impossible for a ground-based army like this to have any chance, and this attack ends abruptly at a 39% 0 star. So I'm having luck with this base. I'm liking it right now, and I did ask Eric, and he's like, yeah, go ahead and share it. I don't mind. Not that many people are going to copy it. Yeah, right. Well, we'll see. We'll see. All right, so let's check out another defense. And yes, once again, you can see that the setting of the air bombs on the far left is luring attackers to typically come from the bottom right, about 4 o'clock, I would call it. And this is what we call the meta minion attack. 2 camps of minions, 2 camps of dragons trying to come in from the far side of the air bombs. Now, you would think with the archer tower set to long range, putting out that lower DPS, that it wouldn't be that dangerous. But watch as he moves in and he's faced with the Tesla and an ugly array of mines set to air on the right-hand side. So he's tried to very carefully take out this first layer of structures, and as the last one goes down, he sets in the dragons first. They are going to trigger some of those bombs. In come a whole bunch of dragons, then the minions in a line in behind. But you'll notice everybody taking lots of damage early on. The firecrackers and all 3 of the archer towers within range of that right side of the base, and that is what is really leading to the downfall of just about every dragon. Notice there's only one dragon left. Now the minions are going to go down quickly one by one. 39% damage, and the very last of the air troops just about to get knocked out. So yes, the tall archer towers do less DPS, but they're still absolutely deadly to minions, and they just can't possibly, when they don't have a tank like the dragon in there in front of them, can't possibly withstand the damage. So now the battle machine is going to come in, and obviously he has zero chance at getting to my builder hall. I've got the crusher in the way, the multi-mortar working on it, and more important than anything else right here, the walls. Those walls are going to take forever for a solo battle machine to get through, and of course that's not even a factor because the battle machine is never going to target them with so many other structures in the immediate area. Now my opponent right here just left to try to grab a couple more percentage points, and he does get the 1 star, but again it wasn't good enough to defeat me. But those attacks I'm leaving off for a different episode. So yes, the base is doing really well. No, it's not flawless. There are other players in my clan that are losing the occasional 2-star, and I'll show one of those in a moment. But first I wanted to show you another replay. Now this is the first of 2 Masts Knight Witch attacks on this same base design with very different outcomes. Now this player is going to spam the Night Witches out on the left hand side and send in the battle machine in front to tank for the Night Witches. Now, of course, before the update dropped, we all thought this was going to be the meta. Night Witches would be completely OP. Turns out they're not. This attack does look like it could be pretty powerful. You see the mass number of bats, but they're getting wiped out by the air bombs. Finally, the air bombs go down, but the battle machine is also going to go down to the crusher, and that leaves no tank around. And those Night Witches all by themselves are just going to get roasted. They're going to get bombarded by the multi-mortar. And sure enough, before you know it, every single Night Witch is gone. Alright, so this attack, not a success. 39%, 0 stars. But here's the thing, there is a certain amount of randomness and, well, just disorder to spam attacks and a little bit of luck. Now, let's watch very carefully as this player spams the same exact army, but this time at the very top of your screen. So the key to this difference of this attack being a success and the last failing really comes down to the crusher. If you look at the pathing of the battle machine, in the last attack, the battle machine ends up inside the base in that little opening right there and gets taken down by the crusher. Right here, the battle machine is going to go past that opening and to the gem mine. Amazingly, really not sure what made the difference right there. The battle machine all the way on the outside after the gem mine. No way this attacker could have planned or predicted that. The bats, they get the crusher out of the way, and now the battle machine is going to head back towards the inside. As you can see, he gets another ability off. These Night Witches at the top stalled on the wall, also making a huge difference because the bats continually spawn, and right there you can see, whereas the last attack, a complete failure, this attack, one of the first 2 stars I've ever seen against this base. Very successful 2-star, and again, kind of a frustrating randomness to this. Now, I will admit, I'm frustrated to lose because I did lose this battle, but I'm also just kind of frustrated at the overall randomness right now. But it's really just something you cannot control. After all of the troops are dropped down in a spam attack, it is a bit of the luck of the draw, and it's always going to be that way. Alright, one more attack replay. This is Ivan coming at me again with this base setup. Loving it right now overall. So really only that 1 2-star. The rest, now this is the meta minion attack. And again, like we expected, like we talked about earlier, now he does have a minion at the top left, but it's just there to pick off a couple of outer structures. The bottom right is really where you're going to see players attack from maybe 80% of the time if they're coming with a mass air attack, simply because the air mines are so very far off the left side of the base. It doesn't even really make sense to try to pick off the air mines alone because of course, the archer towers and the firecrackers on the inside. Now you've got the roaster over there as well, so things like we talked about getting more and more complicated as we move up in builder hall levels. This attacker going to wait a little bit longer. He drops in the battle machine first. So the battle machine is going to come in here, and then he's got his wave of beta minions all of his dragons moving in right behind, and the battle machine is moving off towards the left-hand side rather than through that opening on the right, which is probably good simply because it's going to avoid the Crusher. As you can see, the dragons in there, everybody taking tons of damage from the mines and the Tesla that was there. Finally, the battle machine is going to try to work its way through that wall, but with no help getting through that wall, the battle machine goes down harmlessly on the outside, and this attack abruptly coming to a roasting finish as he's only got 3 minions left, and just trying to save a few percentage points just in case I didn't grab any better than a 1 star. You can see on the far outer left, maybe 1 or 2 more structures are going to be vulnerable and by themselves. The gem mine, the last one that anybody is going to be able to get to without having to face the archer tower set to long range, which I really think, again, is a great minion stopper. You know, they don't do a great deal of damage to the dragons, but to minions, they're absolutely going to annihilate them. This player, only 1 minion left, no chance of any more damage, and I hold him off to a 42% 1 star and pick up another victory with Eric's base. So there you guys go. Let me know what you think about this base design. Do you have a better one? I would love to hear it. Give it a try out and give you a shout out if it works. Thank you guys again for watching all the way to the end of this episode. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, hit that thumbs up. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow for more full attacks. Woo! Galadon, welcome home. I guess my vacation's over.